Hey there, this is Real Talk Baseball. I'm Carlos Baseball. With me as always is Will Power. How's it going, dude? We haven't gone on in a while.
I know, man. It's life happens, dude. You know, it sucks. We got four guys that are part of this show, and sometimes it just happens where none of us can really make it on the same day. So I've actually been thinking a couple of times, like, should I just get on the show by myself? You know, because a lot of times, like I have time when you guys don't, and then you guys have time when I don't. So it's a little bit difficult. But you know what? We're here, so
take advantage of it, right?
Let's try to do the best we can for tonight. Try to make up for lost time.
And people need to take advantage of us being on here. You want to win their league? This is how you win it.
That's right.
Dude, I'll go over the topics today, man. We have good ones. We have injuries, we have replacements, and we have a very important one for all you Tatis lovers out there. There's an update on him. 2 start pitchers for week 12. So we do have that list, and we'll pop it up as soon as we hit that topic. And weekend streamers. So, you know, sometimes you need a pitcher here and there. So I think it's a good idea to watch our show. And I mean, any questions, go ahead and pop them in, and I'll put them on the banner so you guys can see the question, and I'll read them, of course, and we'll answer them to the best of our knowledge. But first, let's talk about the Angels, man. They just recently fired Joe Maddon, and dude, it's pretty crazy that they fired him after a 14-game losing streak, because the Angels looked pretty good at the beginning of the year. Remember, they were in first place, and it was the 2 teams in the West being in first place, 2 teams in the East, which is the Yankees and the Dodgers. I mean, Yankees and Mets in first place out there. So, dude, what happened? Do you have anything to say on that matter?
Yeah, you know, it's a lot of hearsay. You know, this guy, I heard that this guy said something, or this guy heard something, you know, but from what I've been hearing is that Joe Maddon just kind of has been like a cancer in the clubhouse, and
Really?
he's just bringing morale just really down. And maybe one of the reasons is just because he wasn't happy that the Cubs had let him go. You know, he was with the Cubs for a while. He won a World Series with them, and they didn't want to resign him. So he ends up going to the Angels, you know, as their new skipper, hoping to bring a championship to Anaheim. And it just doesn't seem like he was clicking with the players too much. And there's actually been some conspiracy that Mike Trout might have the slump that Mike Trout went through for like a 2-week period, 3-week period, whatever that was, that he did it on purpose.
Really?
Kind of like, yeah, that's what a couple of people have been saying, that he did it on purpose to try to get Joe Maddon fired, because he was one of the advocates that just didn't want him there.
Wow, that's crazy.
I don't know what kind of truth there is to that, you know, but
allegedly,
Mike Trout has never had a slump in his life. You know,
dude, you know what's crazy though? Before you continue, I talked to Mike Trout because I have him on my fantasy baseball, and dude, man, I was like, I'm pretty upset. I'm pretty sure every fantasy owner that has him too is like, really, you got 1 hit in the whole week, and it's been happening. It's been going, and then after they fired Joe Maddon, he hits 2 home runs. I had him on the bench, and luckily I won that week. But still,
who benches Mike Trout, man?
Dude, I do, because
this guy does.
Yeah, because come on, this guy hasn't been playing the way he should be playing. And
but it's Mike Trout. I would never bench Mike Trout. Never.
No, but no one wants to trade me for Mike Trout. So why is that?
Well, it's because the kind of trades that you send, you want Corbin Burns for Mike Trout. Like, I'm not.
Why not? Hey,
because
Mike
I
Trout
need
is
him.
The number one. Mike Trout is the number one.
If I needed an outfielder and I didn't need that extra starting pitcher, then yes, I would go ahead and go for it. But dude, I'm stacked in the outfield. I have Kyle Tucker. I have Marcelo Osuna that I picked up off of waivers. Julio Rodriguez, the rookie that just kind of came out of nowhere, you know, and he's been in a little bit of a slump right now, which is fine. I have him on my bench too. You know, I have extra outfielders that I can just kind of slot in whenever there's a slump going on, you know. So yes, I would love to have Mike Trout on my team, but if it's going to cost me my best starting pitcher that gets me 25 points or more every week, I can't do that.
Yeah, of course, I wouldn't do it either. But you know, you got to fish sometimes, and sometimes it hits, and sometimes you have to pull them out. Yeah, exactly. You get that bite, and you have to pull them out. But yeah, dude, that Joe Madden, for me, it was kind of weird that they fired him. Yeah, in what you're saying, if it's true, then it makes a lot of sense. But I just feel like the Angels, to be honest, should be one of the teams that should be on top, not in third place or fourth place, because they have a good pitching staff and they have a good hitting. So I know you have injuries like Rendon always getting injured. You have all those injuries with the Angels, and they have a history of that. It's going from way back in the 90s all the way to 2000s and to 2010s. Like, they have these injuries, they sign these big old players, and then they don't produce. So we'll see what happens with the Angels in the future. I don't think this year is going to be something where we see the Angels in the playoffs. And Mike Trout, we need him in the playoffs. We haven't seen the greatest player in this era to play in the playoffs. And then Ohtani, his teammate, he has never made it to the playoffs. I think he's been in the league 3-4 years now. So
yeah,
hopefully
one
they
season
change it
he
up.
didn't get to play at all because he had Tommy John surgery.
Exactly. So it's I mean, it sucks for the Angels. All right, man. Let's go ahead and move on, dude. Let's go into injuries. And we have a pretty, I don't know if it's a long list, but just pretty common names out there that you might want to listen to, and maybe, like, I mean, they're already in the IL, pick up some players from that. So give me the injury list.
I'm sorry, I had it on my laptop and my laptop's messing up right now, so I'm gonna have to do it on my phone. I know.
Well, let's start with the main guy on the picture. Buehler just went out, and it looks like it's a strain that's going to have him out for 6 to 8 weeks, and that's pretty much 2 to 3 months.
Yeah, and you're one of the biggest advocates I know about this. When you hear about a pitcher that has an injury to their forearm or elbow that's on their pitching arm, it could be really big bad news. Remember, you said that about Kershaw, and I'm like, I don't think so. I mean, Kershaw, it doesn't really seem like it's like an elbow thing. It's more of a forearm thing. Yeah. And then he was out for a while, but look at him now. He of course he went out again because that's what Kershaw does. But he's back now. He pitched well the other day. Yeah. So yeah, I think Kershaw is going to be. I don't think Kershaw will need any kind of Tommy John surgery. I think that he would actually try to possibly retire before he would need Tommy John.
You think so? I don't think Kershaw's going to retire. I don't think he's going to retire yet.
You don't think
he
so?
Still has probably like
I don't know,
year
man.
or two.
He seems like a big family guy, and he doesn't want to go anywhere but LA. He's going to take a discount to stay in LA.
Is he going to do the Buster Posey?
Yeah, maybe, because Posey's young also, and he has twins at home.
Exactly.
He has little babies, and Kershaw has, I think, three or four.
Man, I don't know, but he's starting to get a baseball team out there. I think he's close to a basketball team, so he's trying to make that baseball team out there. But Buehler, he does have that strain on his elbow. Yeah. And like I said, and you said it, I'm a big believer that when you have an injury to the elbow or your forearm, it's not a good thing. It could just be a strain, like you said, and if it's a strain that's good for Dodger fans, but as a fantasy owner, you do want to have someone to replace this guy. But we'll get into it a little bit later. Let's just keep on going with the other injuries if you have them up. I know we said Tatis is one of them, and should we do his own segment or should we go into it now?
I mean, we can just mention it real quick because everyone kind of knows like what's going on with Tatis already. Tatis has been injury ridden basically his whole career, and it really sucks because this is the next big thing. He was supposed to be like this generation's like Griffey, and I mean, other than his defense, because his defense is terrible, but home runs, stolen bases.
Wait, to his defense though, he does play shortstop.
Yeah, and how many errors did he make at shortstop? He was
you get a lot of balls hit to you on shortstop.
Yeah,
more than you do in any other position.
But when you have the spotlight on you and you're supposed to be like this amazing talent, then 5-6 errors throughout the season, it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. But I want to say he had 8 errors at shortstop, and that wasn't even a complete season because he was out for a month and a half last season.
He just completed his full season last year, right? Out of 3 seasons.
Yeah, but he was injured for some of it, and he also was on the COVID restricted list for about 2 weeks, I think.
So it took him 3 seasons to get to 162 2 games. Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And then this year he's been out pretty much all season. And the Padres are playing good baseball. They're in first place as we speak right now. You're looking at standings or not looking at standings. I guess just because of percentage, they're up there, but they are in first place and without him. And if you do have Tatis and you're still waiting on him, you're gonna have to wait a little longer for him. So yeah, that's a quick mention about Tatis. And who else? Did the computer pop up or not?
Yeah, it's kind of working right now, but
Ah,
I lost all my pages that were open. So it's
boo.
easier just to do it from my phone, man. So Max Scherzer has been announced that he is going to complete a rehab start
Okay.
coming up pretty soon. So he threw a 3-inning simulated game this past Thursday,
Mhm.
and it doesn't exactly say how many pitches he's thrown, but 3 innings, you can assume that it was just more than 30 pitches. So that's good to see from Max Scherzer. So fantasy
Especially
owners
because
can
he's
be,
older too.
yeah,
Yeah, he's
yeah,
older guy.
definitely.
So
Fantasy owners can be happy to hear that Scherzer should be back within the next 2 weeks or so.
not bad. I
Yeah.
think they do
So
this on purpose though, to be honest, because he's
imagine,
older. They're like, put him on
that's
the side.
possible because
It
look
could
what happened
happen.
at the end of last season. You know, he
Yeah.
had the dead arm. So why not rest him a couple times throughout the season, especially if you're winning, because the Mets are in first place in the NL East.
Yeah. Yeah. Get 2
And they're
midseason
doing
form
that
in
without
the
DeGrom.
playoffs. Exactly. DeGrom and Scherzer. So get 2 midseason form in the playoffs. You're good. You're golden. You can
Yeah,
do so many other
they're going
things.
to need pitching in the playoffs because a lot of their hitters, they're guys that usually don't hit as well as they are right now. They're definitely overperforming. So
Yeah.
when it comes to a playoff run, you're going to need to limit as many runs as possible because a lot of these guys that are showing up right now are not necessarily going to show up in the playoffs.
I agree.
I trust Lindor. I trust Alonso. You don't trust Alonso?
No, I don't trust Lindor.
Lindor? Oh,
Yeah,
I
because
trust Lindor.
I've been saying Lindor's been declining since forever. And
Yeah,
right now he's at what, at 270 batting average,
he
which is,
has
I
been
mean, it's good.
declining.
It's good
He has
though.
been
It's good.
declining, but if you look at his decline, it's a very, very slow decline. It's not like he went from
Like
like
1
batting
1.2 points. It's not like a
exactly.
lot. Yeah, I get
It's
what you're
not
saying.
much. It is 1 or 2 points every year. So, over a 10-year span, you're going to see a big decline. But from year to year, it's not so bad. So I feel like where he was drafted, he's definitely giving you value higher than where most of these guys
Oh,
drafted
of
him at.
course. In fantasy baseball, yeah, he's giving you more than what you are asking from this guy because you probably drafted him low on the on the draft, and you have him with you, and he's batting like 270 or something like that. Besides fantasy baseball, this man is not just there playing shortstop for the Mets to get home runs, score runs and play shortstop. He's a really good shortstop, but this man also knows the game and actually helps a lot of their players. And that's what I've been seeing about the Mets, that Lindor has always like been, oh, hey, he strikes out, he goes to the dugout and he tells all the players, watch out for his curveball, watch out for his changeup. This
And
is
I
what
think
he's
that's
doing.
why Jeff McNeil didn't really get along with Lindor last year. I felt like McNeil had been there already,
Yeah.
and then you have this guy that comes over from Cleveland and is trying to like tell
Cleveland
people
who?
what to do.
Cleveland who?
Cleveland Guardians.
You got it right. Dang
Yeah,
it.
I don't. I mean, there's instances where people just either don't talk to other people the right way,
Mhm.
or people take things the wrong way.
Yeah.
Like if you have that type of personality where you don't like to be told what to do unless it's by your coach, then you're going to take exception to that,
Exactly.
especially with a guy like McNeil that's been in the league for a while. And then you have like the younger hot hitter in Lindor, who comes over and is maybe throwing his 2 cents in a little too much. I mean, I'm just assuming. I don't know. I'm not there.
Well,
But
that's what they sign him for, though. Like you got to understand that when you have a player that understands the game and sees it a different way than other players, because he doesn't need to share that knowledge. They sign him to produce RBIs, to hit home runs, to play shortstop. But if he's going out of his way and telling the players like who's after him, Pete Alonso, or I think it's Pete Alonso after him, and he tells them, hey, dude, he's tipping his hat when he's going to throw the changeup, or he's moving his glove a certain way. Watch for that so he can you can know that he's throwing a fastball. Like, that's helping his team. That's a teammate.
Yeah.
That's what they sign him for. You know, they're not signing them for, like I said, RBIs, home runs, and all the other things. Yeah, that's a plus. But the other things that I'm just mentioning, and this is besides fantasy baseball, because I know we're talking about fantasy baseball, but this is like a big thing for Lindor. And as he's doing it, he's producing a little bit more. Like I said at the beginning when he started talking about Lindor, he's batting 270, and it's not that bad. It's a big come up for whoever picked them up. You know, you have other shortstops that are not playing up to par, and you pick them up a lot sooner than Lindor. So, you know,
he's the number one shortstop in the league right now.
Exactly. So, you know, that's not a bad pick. So let's keep moving on, man. If we stay on Lindor, he's a shortstop. I could talk about shortstops all day. Let's continue, man. What's the next one?
All right, so the next one is Liam Hendriks, and I didn't even know about this one. It looks like he's going to miss up to 3 weeks with the forearm issue. And Liam Hendriks, like, he wasn't very well known, you know, 5 years ago, but this dude's kind of old. I want to say he's like 32 or 33. And
I'll look him up.
For a closer, you know, like that's not the type of guy that's going to throw a lot of innings every year. So you would assume that age doesn't really factor in too much unless he's been, you know, a starter in the past and has thrown so many innings before. But 3 weeks, that's a pretty long time for Liam Hendriks that I think he missed some time earlier in the season as well. I don't remember if it was injury or if it was COVID or what was going on with him, but he definitely wasn't doing the White Sox any good in the beginning of the season. He was very up and down, wasn't very consistent. He finally like came into his own just recently within the last month or so. And then now he goes on the IL with an elbow issue or a forearm issue, you know? So what does this mean for this pitcher?
It means a lot because now you're missing out on the closer, right? So now you're looking for someone else that's going to help you, that needs to help you in that category. So any timetable for him?
It just says 3 weeks. So I don't really think that they have like a real timetable on him yet. 3 weeks is just kind of like the base for pitchers when they have a forearm issue. So I don't know. We'll see when they come up with a you know a clear cut update.
Gotcha.
Brandon Woodruff. So that's another pitcher that I want to talk about because he is also on his way back. He's making a rehab start on Saturday, AAA rehab start. So fantasy owners that have had Woodruff, he's been kind of a little bit of a letdown in the beginning of the season this year. He's up to a 4.74 ERA, but the strikeouts are still there. 53 strikeouts in 43 innings. So more than a strikeout per inning. I think this guy still has it, man. I think he was dealing with something prior to his IL stint. And, you know, it was finally just like, all right, it's time to get right. You know, I got to get better. So they put him on the IL. I think he's going to come back and he's going to be close to an ace, you know, because everyone thought that he was going to be the ace of the Brewers before Corbin Burns all of a sudden just turned into this like crazy, you know,
he's a star, man. He's a stud, dude.
If Corbin Burns wasn't on the Brewers, then Brandon Woodruff would definitely be the ace. I mean, he should be an ace, but I still consider him an ace, even with Corbin Burns on the team. You can always have a team with 2 aces, you know?
Yeah. You know, they need him back because the Cardinals are in first place. And if they're trying to make a push for the playoffs, they really need this guy back. And if you're a fantasy owner, you should be happy he is coming back because he does, you know, give you a lot of innings and he does give you a lot of strikeouts. So that's hopefully he doesn't get a setback. That's what you want
in fantasy baseball, man. Exactly. A lot of innings and a lot of strikeouts.
Exactly. You don't want a setback from this guy. So, you know, hopefully they get that push that they need with him. You know, one of the ones I wanted to mention before you continue, I don't know if you have them on your list, is Strasburg, man. I know a lot of people had them and stashed them on their IL. It looked like they shut them down for the remainder of the year or the remainder of the month. I don't recall what it was, but I mean, should you give up on this guy right now?
Yes.
I mean, you should.
Yes.
He's an injury prone.
Honestly,
player,
man, it's like I've been staying away from Strasburg for the past 3 seasons. I don't trust this guy. 2018, he was amazing. They won the World Series with him. And
it was contract year too.
Yeah. Go
He had a
figure,
pitch.
right?
He probably pitched through pain, man. He had to have pitched through pain because
Yeah,
come on.
and now we see him, man. Strasburg was supposed to be like the pitching version of Tatis, like the next big thing. If you watch this guy pitch, his pitches move so crazy, and he just has that velocity from like any flamethrower out there, close to 100 miles an hour. And I want to say in his start, in his rehab, in the first start that he had, his fastball was touching 89 and 90. Damn. Nowhere near what he used to be throwing, 96, 97, So honestly, man, if you have Steven Strasburg, if you have an IL slot, I mean, go ahead and stash him. It's not going to hurt anything. But if you are limited on your IL slots and you need to put someone else there, I don't mind dropping this guy at all. I don't even think that he should have been drafted anywhere. And I didn't want to mention it to Javi because Javi's in first place in our league, because he has Strasburg and he was waiting for him to come off the IL. He tried to offer him to me and I'm like, no, thanks. I'm good.
Yeah, I wouldn't take him either.
I think Strasburg's done, man. I think maybe he'll have a couple good starts throughout the seasons to come, if he can finally get healthy. But I don't think that he's going to be that guy that he wants to be, that he was years ago, the big up and comer. And we haven't seen anything. It's almost been 10 years now that he's been in the league. And he was supposed to be that guy, and it just hasn't worked out for him, man.
That's crazy because Strasburg reminds me of a pitcher from the Cubs back then, Kerry Wood. He was really good. He had these like a lot of strikeouts. I think he had a game where he threw 18 strikeouts, and then he just kept being good, and then he got injured, and he kept throwing, got injured, and he got traded off, and nothing but injuries with this guy. And he was a solid pitcher, so I feel like Strasburg's one of those pitchers, but the Nationals it's gonna have to eat up that whole contract because he's not gonna be able to pitch because of injuries. So you're gonna have to let go of Soto, and because you have that big contract with Strasburg, and it kind of sucks for the Nationals. So yeah, man, let's continue on, dude. There's more injuries.
So Tim Anderson, shortstop for the Chicago White Sox, is supposed to be returning on Monday. So that's really good for these Tim Anderson owners, because Tim Anderson was actually the number one shortstop in fantasy baseball for a while. And then when he goes on the IL, that's when, Lindor kind of just took over. And this guy hits home runs. He steals bases. He knows the game well. He's just a freak, and baseball isn't necessarily completely about athleticism. There's a lot of mental game inside the game, and this guy has both sides, the athleticism and he knows the game so well. So he knows that mental side. So this is the type of guy I really wanted him in my drafts this season. I feel really good about Tim Anderson and the future for Tim Anderson. So this is my guy. This is my shortstop for the next few years. I think that this guy is really going to take off. I think he could possibly be number one shortstop for years to come.
Dang, you're putting that out there, and you're wearing a Braves hat, and you said Swanson was one of your top. I think the reason why we're wearing the Braves hat is because they have 14 in a row, right?
Well, I'm wearing the Braves hat because of a particular player that I want to talk about later.
Okay, we'll talk about him later, and I won't mention them. I think I know who you're talking about. Anyway, let's continue with another one. Is that it, or you have more injuries?
Let's see if there's an injury. Okay, so Chris Bryant, he's targeting a return next week, so that's good for us in the podcast league. So
when is it? When does he come back?
It says next week.
But it's been saying that for a while now, though.
Has it?
Yeah,
I think it was just updated today at 5:27 p.m., which was about 3 hours ago.
Okay, because I've been wanting to trade for him, but it's one of those things where, like, when is he coming back? Am I going to trade him and put him on my IL, and I'm gonna have to get streamers? And yeah, no, I don't think I'll be able to do that. So he is in Colorado, and that should help whoever has him. He's gonna have a inflated, batting average for sure, and home runs and all that. A pop fly is going to be a home run out there in Coors Field, uh, especially for Brian. So if he's coming back, that's a good thing. That's a really, really good thing.
Yeah, especially guys that pull the ball. It's really easy to hit home runs when you're pulling the ball.
Yeah, yeah. All right, man. You have the injuries. I think those are the top injuries. Do you have any
One
replacement? One
more
more?
that's kind of a really big update is Freddie Peralta. Now they never gave a timetable for Freddie Peralta when he was going to return. Very scary for fantasy owners because they knew that he was going to come back this season, but it's like, is he going to come back for fantasy playoffs, or am I going to miss him in the playoffs? Is he only going to be there for MLB playoffs? Like, what's going on? But he actually started throwing on flat ground, and he's actually had a couple sessions already. So I personally think maybe like another 6 to 8 weeks, and we should see Freddie Peralta back on a mound. So that's really good news for fantasy owners.
Yeah, that's not bad. It's not really. That's well, it's not bad. But the thing is, when is he coming back? Did you say?
It doesn't say. I'm just guessing that's probably going to be about 6 to 8 weeks. They say that he's throwing on flat ground right now, so he's basically just playing catch.
Okay, he's just tossing it. He's not even letting go yet.
But at least he's resuming some baseball activities. You know, so that's a really good sign.
All right. Well, we talked about the injuries. Let's go ahead and get into the replacements, man. Is there any replacements out there that I can go ahead and grab? If I can grab them, of course, via trade, via waiver, via, just picking them up without no one knowing about these players.
If there's anyone listening that has any questions about any trades that you should be making, you can go ahead and put them in the comments here, or you can go to our Instagram and send us a message. realtalkbaseball@yahoo.com is our email, or our Facebook page at Real Talk Baseball. So you can send us any questions that you have about trades on there. But I would like to kind of highlight a couple of replacement players for these starting pitchers. A lot of starting pitchers that are injured right now. So Buehler, Freddie Peralta, Steven Strasburg. If you're looking to replace these guys, there's two that kind of come to mind. One in particular is Spencer Strider. That he is kind of came out of nowhere. I had never really heard about this guy.
He did come out of nowhere.
So that's actually why I am wearing the Atlanta Braves hat, because Spencer Strider, he's my dude. I picked him up in a couple of my leagues. I think I had convinced Tony to pick him up in the podcast league, so I think we have him there also. And he's been pitching pretty well. I think he had a clunker just recently, last week, or maybe even this week.
Hopefully, it's not the start of him declining.
Let's see. No, actually, at Washington on the 15th, he got me 27 points. Wow. That was the day that I got 177 points in one day.
Okay.
So he's one of the reasons for that. So his worst start of the year, it looks like it was at Colorado a couple weeks ago. He only went 4 innings.
But that's Colorado, man.
But
any pitcher can. Any pitcher, but any pitcher can suck and
get rocked. That's true. But when you have 5 walks, it doesn't matter if you're in Colorado or in LA or in New York. You can't walk 5 batters in 4 innings.
That's true.
I maybe it had something to do with him just being nervous playing in Colorado, thinking maybe he wasn't ready for that type of atmosphere where the ball just flies. Maybe he I don't know. Maybe he just got into his head. But 5 walks, that's a lot, man.
It is a lot. But he's a really good pitcher.
He is really good. A lot of swinging strikes, which is really good to see from a young starting pitcher like that. Mm-hmm. So this is a guy that you want to keep an eye on in the future as well. The following start, he faced Pittsburgh, went 5.5 innings, only 1 walk. That's the type of start you want to see. 8 strikeouts in 5 innings.
Is that the type of starts he's having though? Like 1 walk, 2 walks, like that's his average?
That's pretty. One or 2 walks is pretty common for him.
Okay.
So I think the Colorado start might have just been like an outlier for him. I don't think that he's really going to be that type of player moving forward.
It could happen. Since you're mentioning him, like I want to go ahead and say Tyler Mahle. Dude, I picked him up too.
Yeah, after I dropped him.
Yeah, and
I
now
had
he's
to drop
lights
him
out.
too because I had too many pitchers, and it was him or
But everybody was
Josiah
dropping them
Gray.
though. They were dropping them like flies. And
Yeah,
then
and
after I
it
picked
was
them
really
up,
stupid to drop him too because it was one bad start. You
yeah,
know, other than that, he's
solid.
been okay. He'll
Yeah.
get 10 points, 15 points,
Oh
you
no,
know,
no, no,
20
no,
points
no.
sometimes.
Since I picked them up, I'm gonna tell you how much.
Oh,
How
I
much?
know since you picked him up, he's
Yeah,
been on fire.
yeah. The last, what is it? The last 14 days is been 50 points. The last 30 days has been 82 points. So you got to think about that. Like the last start, yeah, it was only 13 points, but those 13 points you get them from a streamer. You know, you don't have to drop this guy and pick up a streamer and then hope that he's gonna have a good game. You know,
Yeah.
so he's doing pretty good. He's not that. I mean, he's owned in a lot of teams, but you know, at the same time, like when I picked him up, I think he was at 50% in Yahoo. So now he's at 70, and it's just you know how they has a plus sign in the bottom
Yeah.
of how it's increasing. So it increased by, I guess, what is it, 9 or 7, I believe. So if he's out there, I think it's a good pitcher to have. And he's not. I don't think he's a streamer. He could be a streamer for some people, but I think
I
he should
mean,
be a good idea.
if you look at the matchups, he's had some pretty good matchups, you
Mm-hmm.
know, at Arizona, against Washington, against San Francisco. The Cubs are the ones that kind of lit him up at Cleveland. So he hasn't really been facing the best teams out there. He
Well,
didn't
he's gonna.
face the Giants from last season. He faced the Giants from 2022. And the Giants from 2022 are definitely nowhere near the Giants from 2021. So when you kind of compare like
I don't
the
know,
starts
man.
that he's had, what the Giants? They're in
Yeah,
third place in the division, man. I
yeah,
mean,
but
they're
who swept them? Who swept them? I mean, who swept?
who got swept.
Who got swept by
Eh,
that team?
it's whatever. We also got swept by the Pirates, you know. So it's sometimes
Yeah,
it happens. You got guys that have slumps, and if they slump all at the same time, then you know
exactly.
stuff like that happens. As long as it doesn't happen in the playoffs,
Yeah, we
you
don't
know.
need that to happen in the playoffs. Well, yeah, there's a big test coming with him because the Dodgers are going to Cincinnati, and that's a big test for Manley. So yeah, you're right. He has been facing teams
I
that are
believe
not
Tyler
over
Mahle
500.
actually has two tough matchups next week because he's actually a two-star pitcher.
He is, and we'll get into the 2-star pitcher when we get there because we have the pictures so you guys can see the 2-star pitchers. Who's next, man? Who's another replacement that you can go ahead and grab if you lost Bueller, you lost all these other
So
players.
another guy that has been kind of emerging out of nowhere again also is, you're not going to believe this one, is Ross Stripling. Ross Stripling, formerly of the Los Angeles Dodgers, that is currently on the Toronto Blue Jays. He was in the bullpen earlier in the season, and the Blue Jays they haven't had the best luck with their starting pitching this season. Barrios has been kind of shaky. Ryu's been on and off the IL, and it's they don't really have that legit ace. They lost your boy, forget his name.
He went to the
The one that went to
Mariners.
Seattle. Yeah.
Yeah,
Robbie Ray. They
Robbie
lost
Ray.
Robbie
There
Ray
you
to
go.
free agency. And Ross Stripling has kind of been their like little golden goose lately. He's been on point, man. And if I can just pull up his starts real quick, I can tell you the matchups that he's had. I had him in a league, in our league actually, and I dropped him to pick up another streamer, and I pick him up on waivers again, but Yahoo won't let me use my waiver to pick up someone that I had dropped previously.
Wait,
That's kind of
that
stupid.
sucks. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, so you dropped them?
I dropped him because I needed another starting pitcher for that week. I was way
Ah,
behind on points, so I needed another streamer.
yeah.
And the streamer I picked up, Glenn Otto, ended up going on the COVID IL the same day he was supposed to start. Dude, I was so mad. I was so mad. You know what though? Whatever. That's fantasy baseball. That happened.
Instant karma.
I was
I don't
so
have the
mad.
button for that. That would have been cool, man.
But okay,
Instant
so
regret.
I put Glenn Otto in my IL slot. So I have
Uh-huh.
an open spot open, you know, and I used 4 out of my 5 transactions. So I have one more. So Sunday morning is when Stripling was supposed to start. waivers are supposed to end at 3:00 in the morning Eastern time. And
Uh-huh.
I looked online, and Yahoo releases the waivers between 3 and 5 a.m. So every 2 minutes, I'm at work at this time. So every 2 minutes, I'm like, okay, he's not off waivers yet. Okay, he's not off waivers yet. Okay, not off waivers yet. Until 7:00 in the morning, dude. Way past the 5:00 deadline. And then finally I look and I'm like, where the fuck is he? And then freaking going down, my homie from back in LA that I played softball with, he ended up using his waiver to pick up Ross Stripling. So he's riding the hot hand right now.
So
But
you've been
dude, I was
talking some
so
good
mad.
players,
I
man.
was like, I should have just held on to him. Forget Glenn Otto. I lost that week by I think 22 points, and it's because if I would have had Stripling and I didn't pick up Glenn Otto, I
Yeah.
think Stripling had, let me see, he had 27 points. So I would have won by 5 points that week if I would have got Stripling instead.
That's how I've been winning. I've been winning by 4 or 5 points, man, these last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And that's because I sat Trout down last week, and then I sat no, I didn't sit anybody. I was picking up some players and dropping.
You know who I sat tonight? So I'm way ahead in points because of my big Wednesday that I had, but I have Mackenzie Gore on my bench today.
Oh,
And you don't want to bench Mackenzie Gore, but
no.
I'm so ahead in this week that I don't really care. I'm projected to win by 150 points. So
I don't know. I don't like doing that projection stuff because sometimes it's not
no, I
correct
don't
at all.
either. I don't either, but when it's 150 points, I don't mind so much. If it's like 20 points, 30 points, that's one start from a pitcher. But
yeah, but you
I'm
should have
whatever
just
about
picked
that.
them. Oh, because
Eh,
it's so you have
he's playing at
starting out?
Colorado,
Oh, okay,
and
that's right.
it looks like the game just started. They're in the middle of the first, so he's about to get up there and get rocked. So
There goes your boy, Will.
freaking Tony.
Yeah.
What do I suck, Tony? What do I suck? Tell me in the comments.
Anyway, yeah, man, that sucks that you dropped Stripling, and Mackenzie Gore is one of the top
Dude,
pitchers.
I dropped
right now.
Stripling, and then you pick him up. I mean, Hefe picks him up, and then I pick Mally, and then you pick him up.
Yep, and he's doing pretty good for me right now, so I have no complaints. Thanks for that. Let me go ahead and put the message that he's got a solid. What?
Who's he? Who has a solid pitching staff?
I think you do.
Hefe going down.
Yeah, he probably does. He's probably listening right now, right? Yeah, dude. Let's continue. What's next? What do we have? We have
So Ozzy Albies. We didn't mention the Ozzy
injuries.
Albies,
Yeah, I was gonna say,
injury.
like, what happened to Ozzy Albies?
Yeah, so that's a top second baseman that a lot of fantasy owners are missing out on right now, man, and it really sucks. So he had surgery on a fractured left foot, and I don't know if you saw the video. So it was on a swing. Oh, he's saying that I have a solid pitching staff.
Yeah, you have a
I
solid
do, which is
pitching.
why I was able to drop Stripling and drop
Yeah.
Tyler Malley, and it wasn't like such a big deal. I ended up dropping Josiah Gray, and then I picked him up again, and then the guy got me 27 points, so I was happy about that. Anthony has said this. Anthony. I'm reading his name. I don't know why it says Anthony. You need to change that shit to Tony, man. I can't call you Anthony. It's weird.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
but I feel like when it comes to streamers and the 2-star pitchers, I'm pretty good about picking, which pitchers to pick up and which to kind of like leave on the bench. Tony's saying Rendon's out for the season. I don't know about that one. I got to look at that. But so talking about Ozzy Albies, currently ranked 76 overall, which is actually really good. If you're a top 100 player, you're basically rostered everywhere. So he had surgery on his fractured foot. So if you didn't see the video, it doesn't even look like anything happened. Like, it was an awkward swing. It was an inside pitch. So he kind of like tried to he swung and tried to pull it a little bit, but it didn't look like anything. And then all of a sudden he's like hobbling off the field. So he got off the field on his own.
Yeah, but that happened last season where he got hit by a foul ball and he needed to get carried off the field.
Yeah,
I think it was at Dodger Stadium, and he was out like for about a week. And everybody was like, "What's going on?" It wasn't even that bad. So maybe he has fragile bones. I don't know, man.
Maybe. Yeah, but this dude had to have surgery, so he's going to be out for a while. So
He is.
people are going to need second base help, middle infield help. So the guy that I kind of want to highlight, which is on the most added list right now, is Brendan Donovan. Let's see how much he's owed right now. Dude, I just got this new phone and it has this Face ID, and I'm so used to just putting in my code to open up my phone, and now I have to actually put my face to my phone to open it up. I got to get used to that shit.
Man, that's unprofessional, man. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Dude, it's crazy how technology works now. I'm pretty sure my face is all over the place. They'll recognize me right away.
Nah, man. Yo, that story you told me about lids, I was so jealous, man. I'm like, man, I want to get recognized. What the hell?
Oh yeah, dude, it's a story. So if he's watching right now, I don't know if he's watching or he's there. I went to buy a hat, and this guy that was helping me out with getting the hat, he's like, "Hey, I know you from somewhere," and I'm like, "What? Really?" Nah, I mean, I'm not. I didn't even think about the podcast at all. And like, where does he know me from? They're like, "Yeah, I think I've seen you on YouTube. Like, you guys have a podcast or something on baseball?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Like, "Oh man, I watch your stuff. Like, you guys have some pretty good stuff." And I'm just like, "What?
That's
no
awesome.
way. That's pretty cool, man." So yeah, it kind of felt like I guess
celebrity status.
Yeah, the little bit of like, "Who are you? What do you do?" That was pretty cool. It's an amazing little story, I guess.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Yeah, what did he do? Yeah, dude. All right, man. Let's continue. Hey, Rendon out for the season. Where do you get that source, Tony? I honestly don't know.
I'll look it up.
Yeah.
So Brendan Donovan. So this guy is eligible at second base, third base, shortstop, and outfield. So he's not just going to be a replacement for Ozzy Albies. He's a replacement for almost every area you need except for pitcher, first, and catcher. So he's been on a crazy hot streak. Last 7 days he's had 43 points. The last 2 weeks he's had 68. So today he's not doing so hot. He's over 3 with 2 Ks. He does strike out a lot. But the day before he got 11 points, and then 15, and then 11, and then 6. So he's been on fire lately, and it's been really interesting to kind of watch him because I always look at these guys. The main websites I use are Baseball Reference and Baseball Savant. And Baseball Reference I like to use because it shows their minor league numbers, and Baseball Savant I like to use because it shows their expected stats. So it shows how lucky and unlucky players have been. So looking at, sorry, I'm on Spencer Strider right now.
What? You're late. You need to move on. Keep on. Dude, it's crazy. Since we were talking about Albies, I just feel like sometimes players just need to, take a little bit of a rest. And the older you get, the more you need to rest. And the baseball is getting a lot younger. And we just talked about how Scherzer, how he had dead arm last year. This year, like, oh, you know what? My finger hurts. It's been hurting for a while. Oh, you know what? Just put surgery. Just get surgery on it or whatever.
That's what the Dodgers have done in the past.
Yeah, you have to stretch out the whole season.
Why not?
Yeah, like you have to stretch out the whole season. You need to know when your player's going to play good. Like we talked about Trout earlier, how he had that bad week and how he wasn't playing all that good because he didn't like Madden. If allegedly, right? Because we're not saying that it did happen, but it could have. And he's a second half player. So if you have him and you want to trade him and someone's out there that wants him and you better get a good player for him because this guy's going to be a good player. He's going to be a good player in the second half. Yeah. Who?
Jose Abreu.
Yeah.
And I just traded Martin Perez and I got Jose Abreu.
He's going to do good after the All-Star break. Like that's guaranteed.
Exactly. He's one of those guys. And the guy that I traded is more of a fantasy football guy, so he doesn't really know baseball too well, so he didn't know that the little particulars about baseball players like that. So I think I just came up big time on that trade right there. I needed a first baseman too. I think
that's a big come up.
Yeah,
he's gonna do good in the second half. I know that for sure.
For sure.
He's one of those second players.
but
Yeah.
he didn't even come up in the big leagues until he was a little bit older anyway. So it's not like
Yeah.
he really has like that many years of service, you know.
Yeah.
So
He
big
doesn't have
come
a
up.
lot of years in that wagon. Jasper, how's it going, man? We haven't
What's
seen you
up,
on the show in
Jasper?
a while,
Yeah, I
dude.
haven't seen you in a while. Oh, he
Yeah.
said he was on vacation. I think he went to Florida. Is that right, Jasper?
Oh,
I
if he
think he
went
was
to
in Florida
Florida,
for a little bit. Hey, remember, we got to get together, Jasper, to talk about your website.
sweet. Yeah, we do. In a minute. Yeah, man. It's been a minute, dude. If you were on vacations, you left an important piece on your bench this week
Uh-oh.
with Tyler Anderson. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Almost
yeah,
had the
I had to say
no-hitter.
it. I had to say it. I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but I'm like, this man almost threw a no-hitter. And I'm like, oh, if he
Miles
like,
Michaelis almost had a no-hitter too.
yeah.
What's up
So
with that?
it's been really close, right? Someone's gonna get close and get that no-hitter. I want
Yeah,
to see a perfect game, man. I want to see a perfect
been a
game.
while.
It's been a while. It's been a while since we've seen it. Like, I didn't even know that Anderson was throwing a no-hitter into the 7th inning, and I was watching the whole game.
Well, you can't
So
mention it, you know?
no, of course, but that was like that got me off guard when they went into the dugout, like, and then Joe Davis goes like, "Oh yeah, there's a no-hitter," and I'm like, "Oh, thanks, man. Now he's gonna blow it." No, he came in the 8th and he did good. He came in the 9th, struck out Trout and Ohtani. Like, I think that was a bad pitch. If you've seen the game, like, he threw a
Yeah.
slider outside and he
I'm
went
really
after it.
surprised that Dave Roberts actually like let
Let
him
him,
stay
right?
in the game, you know?
Yeah, he would have been
Tyler
criticized. That's
Anderson,
why.
he didn't throw a lot of pitches last season. I don't think he threw it all 2020. And if he did, it was very, very minimal. I mean, everyone was with 2020 season because it was only 60 games. But yeah, he allowed him to throw, I think, 112 pitches.
No, I think it was 117, dude. That's the most he's ever
117.
thrown. He did
Wow.
good. He did really good. He did really good. The effort he had and everything, he did really good. He's been pitching lights out this year, 8-0. If you have him on your fantasy baseball team, that's one of the guys that
Ride
you
with
didn't
him,
even
man.
draft,
Ride with
probably.
him.
Yeah, you probably didn't even draft him. You just picked
Mhm.
him up like in after the whole draft was done. So it's one of those guys that if you have him, play him until whenever his wheels fall off. And it doesn't look like that's going to happen. He's probably going to be one of those pitchers that go to the All-Star game as well. So yeah, man. We talked about Tyler Anderson not too long ago. I think it was the last time we got on. We said that he's one of those players that was on the waiver list and was one of those pitchers that wasn't picked up. Now, with this start, I'm pretty sure a lot of people, even before that, I think they already have him on their team. It's like 80% owned. So, it's not, he's, if he's out there for you guys, you guys should go try to pick him up. So he's becoming an ace, and there's two pitchers on that pitching staff that aren't supposed to be ace, and they are. So that's Gonsolin and Anderson, and that's pretty crazy, dude.
We need that right now. Dodgers
Yeah,
need that right now.
yeah. Let's go, man. Let's continue.
All
I've
right.
been on.
So just continuing to talk about Brendan Donovan, replacement at second base for Ozzy Albies, or
Yeah,
basically any position because he plays everywhere. So this guy actually has really good minor league numbers in 2022, 2022 and 2021. He played AAA ball. 2021 he played all three, high A, double A, and AAA. He always carried around a 300 batting average. In 2021, he had a 304 batting average, a 399 OBP, almost 100 points higher than his batting average. So that is a huge, huge green flag, that you want to see from a young talent like this, a guy that walks so much. He walks just as much as he strikes out. So that is really, really good to see. OPS has never been as high as it is now in 2021, in 2022. I'm sorry. The thing with him, though, is that he's a 25-year-old rookie. So I don't know why they've been holding him down. He was in the minor leagues for 4 years. I can't think of any reason why the Cardinals wouldn't have brought him up earlier as a 23-year-old or a 24-year-old. Maybe COVID in 2020, that could have stopped him. But why not bring him up in 2021? So that was a little kind of a red flag for me. He did
gotcha.
start the league. He did start the year this year in AAA. In AAA, he was batting 298 with a 385 OBP. He doesn't have a lot. 2021, he stole 19 bases, and he bats in the top of the order for the St. Louis Cardinals. So categories
You guys hear
leagues,
me?
you could possibly get. Who was that?
That's Tony Snap. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys. Hey,
I
what's
was
up?
like, what the hell is that? Who's that girl?
What's up, man?
What's
All
up,
right.
Tony? Where's your
Yeah.
video, man? I want to see that pretty face.
I'm in my car. I'm driving home.
Ah, shit.
Yeah. So he's on.
Don't
He's
get
on.
in an accident, Doug.
That's
No,
why.
no,
That's
no.
why he's just talking on the phone while driving. That's not a good thing.
I don't have it on my hands.
No, I know you have the what is the headset, or you have the car.
I have a speaker on. I'll probably put the headset on right now, though.
Then
You have it with you?
Not a headset, but just my regular headphones.
Oh, that's dope, man. Well, at least you can be on here and talk.
Talk shit.
Yeah. All right, dude. So let's
so
continue,
Brendan Donovan, 19 stolen bases in 2021, and this guy doesn't have a lot of pop. He had 12 home runs in 459 plate appearances. So in 500 MLB at bats, he's probably going to have close to 15 home runs, maybe a little bit more. But that's okay, because when you're hitting in the top of the order, you're not expected to hit a lot of home runs. You're gonna score a lot of runs. But this guy is a doubles machine. He had 21 doubles in 2022. If you can have more than 20 doubles in a season, that shows some speed. That shows some line drive ability to, get the ball to the opposite field or in between gaps. So 21 doubles, great to see. That's for categories leagues, but for points leagues, I think he's actually even better because there he is. Sexy motherfucker. Look at this guy.
You better not get pulled over, man. Put that seatbelt on. Oh man, Tony's joining us from the car. I guess he just got off of work.
Yeah, I'm leaving a gas station right now.
There you go. See, he's over there having fun. Hey man, that's pretty
what's
cool.
the gas at now in California?
Well, where I just got some, I'm right next to UCLA, so it's expensive. I'm in Westwood, a bunch of rich people out here.
That's where it's cheap, man. That's where you pay like $5 or so.
$6.59 is what I pay for right now.
$6.59.
$6.69.
Oh, that's a little less than I thought it was. I thought it was over $7.
Well, it'll get there.
Expensive.
It'll get there.
Gonna get there. Yeah, it's gonna get there.
In like the Philly area, it's a little less than $5. Like you can find it for like $4.80 to $4.90.
Hey man, that's pretty cool too, Tony. That's pretty cool that you're joining us from the car, man. That's dope.
Yeah, we could probably do it like this next time,
Yeah, we'll try, man. We'll try to do everything because I know you like trades. We already passed that, but we're not gonna go into it.
No.
It sucks. I know you. That's your bread and butter. But yeah, let's continue on.
We just need to send all trade questions to Tony.
Exactly.
So that way he can just answer all the.
And he's pretty good too, though. He's pretty good. Like before I make a trade or propose a trade, I'm like, "Hey, Tony, should I do this?" And he's like, "It's not going to look good, but you can try." So like he knows a lot about it. So he's a good person to reach out to. And I mean, he's not doing so good in fantasy. I just don't want to throw that out there because I know he probably doesn't want to hear it. Yeah,
I'm
coming back where? What are you coming back to? You coming back?
Last week he was like, "I'm basically in third." I'm like, "Bro, you're in eighth.
Basically,
what are you talking about?"
No, get out of here, man. You're not in basically third. Third place. Yeah. Well, you need to climb the ladder, man. Out of us three right now, who's on top? Who's on top? You want to say who's on top?
I think Javi's on top.
No, out of us three right now.
Oh, I think you are.
Yeah, exactly. I like that.
Right,
Anyway,
but check this out.
Continue.
Pop and Molly. I like that new name, by the way.
Pop and Molly. Gave it to me? Hey, who gave it to me?
Your boy right
there.
Did you?
Man, yeah.
That's a good one. All right, so Pop and Molly is currently in 5th place. That's Carlos, and I'm in 6th place, right behind him. So Carlos has 3,530 points, and I have 4,088 points. So I got 500 points more than you, and I'm in the place behind you. What the fuck is going on, man?
It doesn't matter about points, man.
I actually have the second most points in the whole league. I should be in 2nd place, but dude, last week, my matchup, man, the last place guy just killed me. I don't know what it was. What's that you smoking, Tony?
Me, nothing. Figure of your imagination.
What?
It's this new app I got. It's
that's coming from your phone.
Yeah.
Hey, for those of you that don't know, man, we're live, dude. We're really live right now with the Uber driver over there. That's cool, man. I kind of like this. That's dope that you can.
Hey,
you can
guess what?
Yo.
So it's the end of the first in Colorado, and Mackenzie Gore gave up 3 earned runs.
There you go. Good thing you put him on the bench.
I told you, man. I told you.
It's a Colorado effect.
Exactly. See, that's the thing about these weekend streamers that I don't think we're going to have enough time for this weekend. But anyone that faces Detroit or Arizona or Cincinnati, those are the guys that you kind of really want to take a look at and look at how many walks they've given up in the last few starts or so. If they've given up 3 or less walks and they're facing a weak team, usually you're going to have a pretty good matchup. You don't want to trust guys that just got lit up by the Cleveland Guardians, or a guy that just threw 6 walks in 5 innings against any team. You want to stay away from the guys that have a high walk percentage. You want to stay away from the pitchers that have a high walk percentage. So any weekend streamers that you're looking at, that's basically what I do. I look at matchups. Yahoo used to give you like a matchup rating. I've noticed that they don't do that anymore.
Yeah, they used to have the star system.
The stars, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I like that because it also shows previous matchups between the pitcher that you're looking at and the team that they're facing. If they've faced those hitters before in the past, it'll kind of give you a little insight as to how they've been against that particular team in the past. So I like that. But yeah, that's basically it for the weekend streamers. Have you looked at any of the 2-star pitchers for next week, Tony?
I like Marcos Gonzalez.
Yeah, but he's not really available in too many leagues.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't he only 40% owned?
I want to say he's
40,
over
30%?
60 now. Let's see.
Nah, no way, bro. No way.
Let me go ahead and put him up right now. I don't think you'll be able to see him, Tony. I think the screen is too small.
Oh no.
Yeah.
He's
on
22% rostered.
Yeah, go get Marcus.
Marcus who?
Yeah, if you are preparing for next week, Marco Gonzalez is actually my pick for next week. That I would like to have if I had acquisitions, which I do have one. He's on waivers currently in our league, so I don't know if I want to waste my waiver on a 2-star pitcher for next week. If
you need him, why not, dude? If you need him,
that's the thing is I have to look at who I'm facing next week and how many pitchers I have going next week.
Will's got a solid ass team.
Hell yeah, I don't know why he's in 6th place.
Well, I'm telling you, man. So the first 2 weeks I was 0-2, so that really messed me up. And then last week, of course the last place guy gets 500 points. He scores the most points in the whole league last week. The 1 week that I'm facing him, he actually decides to pay attention, which kind of sucks for me. But it's whatever, man. Fantasy baseball is all about the end result. There's a lot of bumpy roads in the middle of the season. So hopefully I'll still be able to come out at least 6th place by the time our season's over, so we can get into the playoffs.
Wait, 6th place? You are in 6th place.
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
you're gonna be higher than that.
Lose anymore.
You're gonna be higher than that.
I think so.
Be higher. Yeah,
I think I'm going to finish 2nd or 3rd. That guy, Max Bryce, he has a really good team too.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's probably going to be me, Max, and Javi at the top. Going down actually has a really good team also, so he might be that the 4th guy.
Don't forget Pop and Molly, man.
Hey,
Probably not.
hey,
Well, this is the thing about you, Carlos, is that you
I
stop paying
forget.
attention towards the end of the season.
I
You
do.
know?
I know. I
You,
do.
you always
We get
have
into
this like
playoffs.
sick ass team, and then when it comes to like 3 weeks before the playoffs, you just like stop setting your lineup like
Yeah.
on random ass days.
I know.
And
it
in
sucks.
Yahoo, they make it so easy. You click one button to start all players that are starting today, and then you click another button to start them for the week. And
Yeah.
that's really all you have to do, unless you're like picking up and dropping players. But
Hey, since we have Tony here, Tony, tell this man that he needs Trout. He needs my Trout. He needs my Trout in his lineup. No, he doesn't need outfielders. But yeah, I just wanted to start something. We talked about that earlier. He said, "Nah, I'm not gonna give up my top pitcher for Mike Trout." So Mike Trout is a second half player, though.
I'll
Just
give
know
you
that.
Barrios for Trout.
Nah,
no, Barrios is somebody else. Barrios and let me see.
Castillo,
That's decent.
that's pretty solid.
Is
That's
Castillo
really
is
solid.
Castillo pitching right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he might be a fucking trade candidate to.
Oh
a
yeah, for
contender,
sure.
Like
For sure.
like the Dodgers.
Both of
I think
them.
the
Never know.
Dodgers.
Castillo and Tyler Malley are both trade candidates.
Yeah. I think the Angels should be looking at the Castillo. To be
The
honest,
Dodgers should be looking at both. Go ahead and get
Yeah.
both of them. Why not? We got prospects. Send Michael Bush to
I don't
Cincinnati.
think the Dodgers need to make a big trade right now because
No.
you have two big old
You got-
pitchers.
Hey,
Why? Tell me.
Hanley's coming back. Gonsolin's playing out of his mind. Freaking
Hanley, Ramirez?
Heaney.
Oh, Heaney.
I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, I have Heaney. I think he's supposed to start on Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh, he's coming back on Sunday.
Yeah.
And then you got Julio and
Wait. Hold on,
Curto?
Tony. Who are you gonna drop? You
Who
need
you
to drop
talking to?
someone. You, man. You need
Me?
to drop someone so you can put Heaney in.
It's probably going to have to be Josiah Gray.
Okay. All right.
But that's in another league. Well, Carlos.
Oh, okay. Dang.
Yeah, that's another
How
league.
many leagues are you playing, Will? Dang, you're getting me all excited.
Well,
over here.
including the podcast league, the World Podcast League, it's 3.
Okay. But that one's categories.
No,
points.
it's points. They changed it this year.
Oh, okay.
You know what? Looking at it now, I'm probably going to drop Houck, the possible closer for Boston.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Did we talk about the two?
The thing is, in our league, we have to have 2 RP, and I keep on messing up and dropping these RPs, and then it leaves me with only 1, and I'm like, damn, I need to fix it by the time the games start. So then I end up getting just like whatever reliever I can find on the waiver wires that has good matchups for the weekend. Or
You should have kept Holmes, bro.
Who?
Yeah.
You should have just stayed with Holmes.
Yeah,
Holmes.
well, the thing is, I dropped Holmes to get a starting pitcher. I don't remember who I dropped him for. And then that's when I realized, like, damn, I don't have another RP to move into that position. So I have Spencer Strider, the guy that we talked about earlier, that he's in my RP spot. He's a SPARP. And I don't have any other RP other than him and Houck.
Yo, before we continue,
I got Suarez, bro. What's up? You want Suarez?
Damn, dude, relax. Hold on, man. Oh, they're trying to make a trade during the show. Wait up. Do we go through the whole two start pitchers, or should I put the list back up?
We just kind of highlighted just Marco Gonzalez.
Yeah, we did. And I know you want to make a trade, Tony, but
that whole first row on the left side.
We'll talk later.
Those are all like basically must-start players, except for Yu Darvish. I don't really trust Yu Darvish, especially he's pitching at Colorado. He's not the same guy he was with Texas or even with San Diego 2 years ago.
How's he doing?
He's doing just fine. Start that move.
So what? So Will's hating on him?
I mean, everybody has different styles of managing, and I prefer players that have that. I prefer players that have a track record. I'm sure Will does too.
Everybody does.
Will's probably like fixated on that Dodger season where he sucked ass.
That
was
my first time, man.
Wait.
I was a fantasy virgin.
He didn't suck ass. In the playoffs, he did, but not during the season. He did pretty
Yeah,
good.
that's true.
Yeah.
Hey, honestly, ever since that first season, every single season that I've played in fantasy baseball, I have always made it to the playoffs. There's not one time where I didn't.
Oh, me too.
So I'm pretty proud of that.
Yeah, I make it to playoffs. It's just I don't give a. I just forget to change my lineup.
Even my first time when I drafted like Hanley Ramirez and damn, I can't remember Juan Uribe. You know, that's like that was the Dodger team that I drafted that year. Like you guys for the first time, I got like all Dodgers.
You were like,
we did the live
draft.
in-person draft.
Yeah.
With like the stickers and everything. That was fucking dope, man.
Yeah,
that
that's
was so
fun.
dope.
That's
Who put
fun.
that together?
Me and Javi did, man.
Dang.
Yeah, that was really fun. But then we tried to find a way to do it again, and then we had people that weren't coming into that can do it. And then now, like when we got back to it, we're like, let's just do it online because we don't have anybody here. And then when we were gonna do it again, COVID happened, and then the rest of the story. But now there's too many people across the United States that we can't go ahead and do that again. Maybe we can have the board, and then whoever can get together, like, which is not going to be a lot of people, but we can put the stickers together and all that stuff.
Yeah,
But that's fun like that, dude. Yeah, that's pretty dope. That's a dope thing. We put the camera on the board and everything, like put it on the board, like what is it called? The White Sox. Yeah, we could do that, dude. That's fun as hell. But I don't know about that. I remember some people got drunk and they weren't doing so good on their draft. So it was like some people.
Chapman #1, baby.
Exactly, man, dude.
Hey, all I can remember was the stupid ESPN special that they had about Aroldis Chapman, and then when it was my turn to pick, I was just like, "That's my boy."
Dude, I bet you were like, I hope no one picks him up because I don't know who's my backup. You didn't know who your backup #1 was. That's messed up, dude. Oh my god.
What team was he on when you did that?
He was with the Reds.
Still.
He was with the Reds.
It was that long ago.
Yeah, he was with the Reds, man.
Jeez.
Damn, you picked up
Who
a
gets
closer.
a closer as their #1 pick?
Tony.
Hey, that was my first year. And
was it?
But then after that, he picked it up and he was like, I'm not ever looking back.
Never again.
Yeah.
Never looking back.
Everyone makes mistakes in the first like couple years that they play fantasy baseball. We still make mistakes now,
Yeah.
It's just you have to learn, you have to adapt. You have to pay attention to the waiver wire. And
I don't think he heard you.
Players. What happened?
I don't think he heard you. Say it again.
I said, yeah, like dropping Mally.
I'll drop something in your mouth.
Oh my god. Oh, we have another comment. Let's see who right there. Gonzalez.
Gonzalez? Yeah, man. Marco Gonzalez. Do I want to use my waiver on Marco Gonzalez? I have the #1 waiver.
What, this week? You don't need it. You say you're going to win by 150
for
points.
next week because he's the two-star pitcher.
He's a two-star pitcher.
But then he's going to pull a Glenn Otto and then all of a sudden go on the COVID list on Monday, and then he's not going to have 2 stars next week, and then I just lost my #1 waiver. I've been waiting.
Yeah, I wouldn't waste it.
Exactly. I don't want to waste it. Someone's going to use their waiver on him, and they're going to get him before I have a chance to. So you are. I don't think you have any more transactions left.
I got one.
Do you?
You got one?
Yeah.
For next week?
Yeah. I don't know, man. We'll see.
I don't know.
I really have to look at my matchup for next week and see how many starting pitchers I have going so far, and also who's available out there. Maybe there's another 2-star pitcher where I can just, if I miss out on Gonzalez, I can pick them up.
Sweet.
Might as well look at it now while we're on the show, right? So that way I can give another recommendation for another 2-star pitcher.
So while we wait for that, I have like a little bit of history. You know how I always want to throw that history out there for you guys. So, dude, on this date in 1994, can you believe it's been that long? O.J. Simpson went on that white Bronco, dude. And while the World Cup was happening, baseball season was happening, they still hadn't hit the strike. and then you had the NBA Finals going, dude. So all kinds of sports were happening when this man was on the white Bronco in Los Angeles, man, in 1994. Crazy, right?
I remember
believe
watching that on
405 right
TV.
now.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God. I remember watching that on TV too. And I remember with the World Cup, I remember baseball, I remember the finals happening. Like everything was happening, but this was exclusive for Los Angeles. And
OJ.
boom. What were you on the 405?
Yeah, I thought I saw OJ.
Yeah, dude. So there you go. Your history right there, man, with OJ Simpson on the 405 hitting all kinds of freeways, running away. Like, just thought I'd put that out there. What is it? June 17th, 1994. What is that? 28 years? Damn. 28 years, dude. That's a long time. We're old, man.
We're old as hell, man. I just turned 39 last week.
Ooh, 39.
39.
Sounds like a good time. Sounds like fun. I'm almost there too. What, 3 more years?
Something like that.
How old are you?
32.
No, you're not.
No, man. I'll be there next year. I'll be there next year. So we're about the same age. Tony's about to get to there not too long from now, right, Tony?
Yeah, next
A
month.
month exactly.
Holy shit.
Oh yeah. Exactly.
So he'll be there.
39 and sexy, huh?
Yeah.
If you say so, why not? Why not? Did you pull it up already or no?
Yeah, dude, I'm looking at these
There's
2-star
nothing.
pictures. There's
There's
not
nothing.
really a lot of guys that I would really like to throw out there. If
I
I
don't trust
had to
anybody.
give a number 2, other than Marco Gonzalez, it would have to be Eric Fetty. Really, just because of the matchups, but I really don't like it. I don't like it at all.
I don't like it
At
either.
Baltimore and at Texas. So definitely at Baltimore. At Texas, you got Marcus Simeon that's kind of coming on a little bit of a hot streak, and Corey Seager and Nate Lowe that's been on
Garcia.
somewhat of a hot streak. So those 3 guys are the ones that you really have to worry about. Other than that, I really don't worry about Texas too much.
You said Mejia, Tony?
Garcia.
Garcia.
Odolis Garcia, I think that's his name. He's an outfielder
yeah.
with Texas. He's pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
He's
he's
doing
pretty
okay.
good.
He strikes out a ton though.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So you don't need that. Hey, I got a question. Tony, do you like doing this on the car or what?
Yeah, we can set it up next time.
People are looking. Right? Hey, people are looking at you right now. Are like, what the hell is he doing? Who's he talking to?
I'm working here. My Uber in the back.
Tell them to give you a tip. Tell them to give a good star rating and a good tip, dude.
5-star rating.
5-star rating for Uber. Tony snapped the Uber driver. You know what it looks like? Like a show that comes out. I don't know what the name of the show is. I think it's Taxi something Confessions or something like that. That's what it looks like right now. No, what the hell? No. It's a. Well,
What
I don't
kind
know
of
if
videos you be watching, Carlos.
dude. I don't know if
I
it's.
know.
I honestly don't know. It comes out on YouTube, and then people start talking to this taxi driver.
That's kind of
and
sus, man.
you can whatever. I don't know. It could be, but I watch it on YouTube. I don't even watch it, dude. It just popped up on one time, and I was like, "What is he doing? Why does he have?"
Probably because you're talking
about
about it, and then
What
your
is he
phone
doing
hears
with his
you, and then it
finger?
brings it up automatically.
That's what happens. That's what happens.
Damn
Isn't
you,
that crazy?
Zuckerberg.
Isn't that crazy? Like you mentioned, like earlier, I mentioned Mike Trout to someone at work, and they were like, we were talking about Mike Trout, and then boom, all of a sudden it pops up on the Instagram thing.
Yep.
And I'm like, well, no way,
Dude,
like what the
3
hell?
days ago, I got hit up by a homie at work that he's joining a adult softball league, and he asked me if I want to play, and I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to play. It's been a long time, man. So and then today I'm scrolling through my Instagram, and then it goes like a ad for cleats and gloves and stuff, and I'm like, this motherfucker.
What
Who's
kind
in
of
charge
kids you
of
getting?
this shit that's
Are you getting the
fucking
Griffies?
crazy, man?
Are you getting the Griffies?
No,
Oh man,
come on, man. It's
The
adult softball. I'm gonna get the cheapest cleats I can find, dude. Actually, I don't even know if it's dirt or turf. If
Oh.
it's turf, I might have to get some turf shoes.
Yeah, no, I still have my
But we got DSW over here.
I got my.
DSWS turf shoes.
I still have my 2010 cleats. You know.
Yeah, I
still
wear
can
size
rock
14. Those aren't gonna fit me.
Nah, dude. I don't. I'm not one of those players that like to show off and buy new cleats all the time. The season starts and stuff like that. I just started playing baseball again, so
yeah, I saw your Instagram the other day.
I'm still using my old cleats. So, but man, after that game, ask me how I
How
felt.
sore were you?
Oh my god. I felt pain in places I've never felt before, man.
That's why I didn't want to go, man. I was all like, I haven't even like stretched out. Oh, this guy wants me to just show up like this. And,
dude, man, I know how Tony works, man. You ask him a question, and like, hey, you want to go do this? Like, when? And then you like tomorrow, and he's like, he doesn't answer. That's it. That's a no. That's a no. So if he doesn't answer between those 5 minutes, that's a no. That's it. He's not going to answer you till when did you answer me? You answered me today or yesterday?
Today.
And the game already happened.
And the game already passed. My soreness is already gone, dude. And this guy's barely answering. So how did it go? Did you guys need players? Like what? No way, man. You need to answer like, hey, dude.
When it comes to equipment, dude, I'd rather spend more money on a bat.
I haven't.
If you have a solid bat, if you have like a bat that has some pop on it, you can hit some long balls, man. You don't even really have to put like much effort into it. The ball just flies. I love DeMarini's, man. The DeMarini Juggy, that's my pride.
I've never used a DeMarini, dude. The only bat that I keep using and I still have from back in the days is my Omaha. And that's the Louisville. Yeah, my Omaha. And it still has a little bit of pop left before it breaks.
Yeah, just stay away from the Eastons. I don't like Eastons.
I've never liked Eastons. Do you guys remember the C-Core? Is that Easton?
Z-Core?
The Z-Core. Was that an Easton? So. Yeah, I didn't never like that bat.
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think
I like the Louisville. Like that one was a really, really good a real good what do you call it? Bat. I like the Omaha. Omaha is really good bat, and they don't make it anymore. But the DeMarini, I've never used it, and I want to because I guess that's the upcoming one, right? What's been the upcoming bat for?
That's been like the top bat for like over a decade.
What is it? 10 years now? Yeah, something like that. I've never used one, so unless someone buys it on the team, or maybe I break my Omaha, then I'll go ahead and see if I can put my hands on one.
I don't have a bat, so our first game is this Wednesday coming up. So I'm just gonna look for whatever bat kind of like is good for my size, because I think because softball bats the ounces are usually 26, 27, 28. So I definitely like the 28 ounces. So as long as I can find a 28, maybe I'll try a 27. I don't know how the other team, like the rest of the team, looks. So I know it's co-ed. So there's going to be some girls with some light bats on the team. But the girl that's putting it together, she actually played college softball. So
she throws hard?
I don't know. Probably. I don't know what position she played.
You need to videotape some of that so you can put it on the page, man.
Not my first game.
No, not the first game. I'm saying once you start hitting the ball, what is that, 2 seasons?
Wow. Slow pitch softball. If I can't hit the ball on the first game.
What? Oh, my God.
I'm just gonna quit, man.
Hey, so
we got some batting cages that are really close to here, so I'm probably gonna go on Sunday. Tomorrow's my son's birthday party, and then we're doing like the Sky Zone thing, and then on Sunday I don't really have any plans. So I was thinking about just doing some yard work in the morning, and then going to the cages after, and
then coming home and then put some ice packs all over the body, right?
Yeah, exactly. Do an ice bath. I'll just pour all the ice in the water and soak myself.
Dude, Jasper said he turned 50 on June 3rd, man.
Dang.
Wow. That's
happy late birthday, bro.
The happy late birthday, dude. Like, man,
that's the day after me,
that's really cool, man. I want to reach 50 too. Yeah, I want to reach 50. I want to get to the 2 quarters, you know? Why not?
Half a century?
Half a century. That's a huge accomplishment, man. Why not? You should be celebrating big. 50 years is not something to be like looking at like, oh, he's 50, like I'm getting old. Nah, man. For a man, I think 50 is pretty good. I think 40
you're not old, you're experienced.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say next. You read my mind. Dude, anything else you guys want to say? I mean, I think we went over the time. I think we've been talking about bats. Let's talk about gloves. What kind of glove do you have?
My glove, I don't really trip too much. I have a Mizuno. It's a 14
Softball or
inch
baseball glove?
softball glove.
Okay.
It's
What
a
size is it?
14-inch outfield
14
glove.
inch.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I mean, outfield gloves for softball are good for really any position you play in softball, just because the ball's so big. I mean, other than first base. For first base, you really want to have a first baseman's glove because it's really hard to pick those the balls in the dirt with an outfielder's glove. You know, it just kind of just falls back out. But yeah, any other position. I've played third, I've played short and second. I really don't think that I can play outfield anymore just because I'm fat and old and I don't
And 39. Don't
and
forget.
39. I don't think I should be running around in the outfield anymore. I'm gonna come home, babe. I'm
Dude,
hurting.
I have a 11.25 Mizuno, and I have a 11.75 Rollins. The 11.75 is the one I use. I dove for a ball on Sunday. I'm like, man, it felt wrong not diving. And
Did you
dude,
catch it?
I did catch it, but I didn't. Because I thought the runner was running faster than when I thought. So I'm like, I dove, I got it. I'm like, all right, at least I saved a run. But then when I got up, he was still halfway. I'm like, what? So I threw it. I threw it, but I threw it late. And if I would have just popped back up, sometimes your mind plays tricks on you because you forget how old you are, right? So maybe it's just like my body not responding to. In my mind, I'm like,
Maybe.
no, I'm not gonna get up that fast. But if you saw that play, I'm pretty sure like, nah, this guy's old. He can't do it anymore.
Carlos fell asleep. Right after
Exactly. Dude, I dove, and I when I got back up, I got up a little slow because I wasn't gonna throw. But if I would have done it, if I would have done it, I probably would have got him. But still, like, it's not. Dude, my reflexes are not there. The pitcher that was throwing super slow. I was like swinging way before the ball got there.
What's super slow to you?
Super slow is probably like 60, like under that.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
70 is good. 70 is good. I haven't faced 80 in a while, but 70 is what
I mean, a lot of times, like on a Sunday, is it a Sunday league?
Sunday league, yeah.
Yeah, the Sunday leagues. How many guys really throw 80?
There's a few people that throw 80, man. Yeah, it's
we
a
have
lot.
a couple of guys on our team.
Yeah, we have a couple of guys on our team.
By how many innings do they go?
They go the whole game, dude.
No way, really?
Yeah, man. It's like, dude, I need to up my game, man. It's like,
man,
I can't, dude,
if
and that's
I'm
where the
facing these
competitiveness
guys-
starts. That's where your competitiveness starts, and that's where you're like, all right, this guy can go 9 innings. I need to start going to run. I need to start throwing during the week. I need to pick up some ground balls, swing the bat, and you do those things because you're like, man, I can't be the sorriest player on this team.
All right,
I
let
need
me
to
ask you a
step it up.
question.
Yeah.
In your whole baseball career that you've played, there has to be one play that you've made that just stands out. That was like, dang, that was like a da-na-na, da-na-na moment. You know?
Oh shit. But there's many.
All right, pick one.
Dude, I don't know, man. I don't look at those things like that. I think the play that I've seen the most that is like I remember in my head, it's not swinging at a pitch when I was 11 years old. Not swinging at a pitch that came down the middle, and we lost that game because I didn't swing. So that's the one that just like terrifies me. Like I wake up with a nightmare because of that. not a good play. Like a good play, I don't really know. Like I honestly,
there's so many.
I'm not saying that. Oh, I'm a great player and all this. Like I do great plays all the time. Like no, I'm not saying that. But that one for me is the one that's like haunting in my head, and it like overshadows everything. It's like everything that I've done in my baseball career. I could have had the best game, and I probably won't really remember. But that right there, when I was 11. And I took that pitch down the middle and I didn't swing and we lost because of that. I feel it, and I still feel it to this day. So
Did you strike out?
I struck out because of that. And I've never
Was that the third pitch? Was that the third strike?
Yeah, that was the third strike. That was the third, and there was an all-star game. So that was to go to the championship because of that. And
Man,
and that
if
and
I
that
was your
team,
teammate, man, I would have been so mad at you.
yeah, and they had every right to, because in that team, I was the top player that everybody was like, okay, Carlos is coming up. He's gonna hit it, and we're gonna win. Nope. I stroke out looking, dude. The worst. So you can imagine how that play still sits in my head to this date.
Man, was your dad there?
Oh yeah, he wasn't my dad that day, man. He's like, "That's not my son. Don't look at me. Who's gonna give him a ride? Someone needs to give him a ride.
He's
I'm not
walking
gonna give him a
home.
ride. Yeah, that's not my son. My son sings a bat." Oh man, it was brutal, dude. It was brutal.
Oh,
but
man.
anyway, yeah, that's the play that I remember. I don't remember anything like a good play. Yeah, I remember some good plays that I did and stuff like that, but it's not a highlight for me. It's more of like, oh, okay, I got to it and I got the out. Good. It's, you know, whatever. Tony, you had some plays too, man. Like when you were playing Little League, hitting those bombs. Tony was hitting bombs in Little League.
Tony, what positions did you play?
Mainly, it was me and Carlos up the middle when we were growing up.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a big second baseman.
Carlos was short and I would play second.
But he was quick, dude.
No, I was
really quick.
I was a lot bit thinner back then. A lot.
But he was quick. He was quick with his feet and then quick with his hands.
Yeah. We dude, I remember turning double plays at Dodger Stadium. Remember that?
Yeah. Yeah. We played at Dodger Stadium and all that.
Dodger Stadium?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember doing that. I remember I don't know. I can't remember actually there was this one play that I think we were up by like only 2 runs, and there was a man on first and second. We had 2 outs. It was probably like the 8th inning, and this was in Sunday League, and I was playing right field. And I made this crazy ass like diving catch, and like I remember just like hitting the ground and just sliding forever, and everybody screaming. You know what I mean? Like I just remember that play because I remember I think that game was like to go to the championship.
Okay.
And we were up 2, 8th inning, man on first and second, and it was a shot too. I remember like I'm not gonna make it. I remember
he was
just
sprinting.
like, oh my god, and just rushing it and doing it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I remember that one. I don't know. Like Carlos said, you know, we're so good. We have so.
I'm not saying we're so good, dude. I didn't say that at all.
I mean, you basically did. You basically
No. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying like
when I asked you for that one play, you're like, there were so many.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's so many that like everybody has.
Because I was the all-star.
No, there's a lot of people that will say that. Tony, you have a lot of other ones, and you said this one, right? So, like I'm saying, like to me, it's not that I have that one play. It's just that there's other things that I looked at that haunt me more than makes me proud of doing it.
You know which one haunts me, Carlos?
Which one?
It was a championship game against the Cubans. You remember that?
Yeah.
And we lost to them. Do you remember? I hit the ball, and I screamed out, "Get the fuck out of here!" It was an intense game. We were talking shit like
back and forward, yeah.
And their team, we were talking a lot of smack throughout the whole game. Yeah. And I remember going up to the plate, thinking like, I'm gonna crush this fucking ball. Like fuck that, I'm gonna do it. And I did crush it, but like
the air brought it down.
Right at the warning track, literally at the wall.
That was a shot.
And I fucking screamed out, "Get the fuck out of here!" And it's so embarrassing.
This is before Puig too. This is before Puig. So he hit it. So what happened was like we were back and forth with this team, and this is was this a championship?
I think so.
Or was it a playoff game? I forget what it was. And Tony got a good hand. Oh my god, the guy was throwing heat. He was trying probably like
crushed it, bro.
Yeah, he was probably throwing like plus 80, maybe even 90, dude.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, so this will put the bat on it and crack, and everybody was like, "Yeah!" He hit it, and Tony, I remember Tony saying, "Get the fuck out!" He took the base, and then the dude just goes all the way to the warning track, catches it, and that's it. That was it. But yeah, that one, I can imagine how bad that felt because you probably you put all into it. It almost left the yard too. So yeah, man.
That's what I remember.
There has to be something that haunts you, Will. Like and your whole baseball and
Haunts me?
softball career. Yeah, there has to be something.
You
You know
remember
what
a
haunts
play?
me?
Yeah.
It's not a particular moment, but it's that I quit baseball before I before high school.
Hmm.
I regret that so much, man. And you know why I did it? Because I didn't like to run. And I knew that in high school that
Yeah,
they
you
were
have to
going to
run.
make us run a lot. And I hated running, dude. I hated it so much that I decided to quit playing baseball because I didn't want to run. You know what I did instead for my PE credit? I joined the marching band. I chose the marching band over playing baseball. That
And then
that
you're
is
walking
my
all the time.
You were walking all the time with an instrument, man. I played marching. I got in the marching band, and I still play baseball. So,
Yeah, you
Well,
did.
the thing
yeah,
is with
I did.
marching band, that is your PE credit, so I didn't
Oh,
have to, you
okay.
know.
Okay.
But thinking back on it now, man, I was also like this like shy, like timid kind of kid that I'm I was more embarrassed to be out on the field. Like even if I made this like amazing play and everyone was clapping, I was just kind of like,
Not
trying
like
to like not be in the spotlight. I remember just crushing the ball and I remember making these diving plays and it wasn't like it made me feel good to know that I did it, but when I got the recognition for it, I didn't like it. I didn't like being noticed like that.
you didn't like to be the star,
I didn't
dude.
like to be the star.
I think I was timid as hell, dude. I didn't speak a lot. I didn't talk a lot. But once I was in the baseball field, I was a different demon.
Yeah.
I was.
I wish I
No,
was
I
like
think,
that.
dude. I think I was. It was something that I felt so comfortable doing that I'm like, okay, this is where I feel good. I feel safe. I can do it. And because you put me in a classroom or you put me somewhere where, like, I know I don't know all that stuff, I'll be like quiet as hell, man. I because look, I'm talking in front of a lot of people now on YouTube. So, but back then I was timid, dude. You could ask Tony. I think Tony knows, right? I was like a shy kid. I didn't
Yeah.
talk. Yeah, I didn't do a lot of those things. I was not sheltered, but I was one of those players or people that I just didn't.
And look at you now, man. You're a
Yeah,
podcast host.
I
Hey,
know.
this is Real Talk Baseball.
Exactly. Like get it going, get it right. Well, I'm a lot older, man. So
Yeah.
like you grow out of it and you have
You
to do
start to not
things.
care as much what people
Yeah.
think.
So you have to push yourself to those limits because if you don't do it, someone else is going to do it for you and then you're going to think like I could do that
And
or
you're
I
gonna
could
miss
have done
out.
it. Yeah, you're going to miss out a lot. And that's why with coaching with the little league this year, like I helped he's becoming a good friend of mine, dude, and he's really cool. So like I just want to throw out a shout out to him. It's Chewy. He's out there in Seattle today, but he's really like good with the kids and he asked me like, "Hey, can you help me coach?" So I helped, and man, this experience that we had was really cool, man. I can't complain about this season. Like I've never coached a little league or anybody except my son, and coaching and helping coaching, and you see the development that they go through from start to finish. It's amazing, man. It's an amazing like thing to do because uh, I mean, the game and you just want to spread out your knowledge, right? And there you see it. You put it out there, they do it, they execute. And when they execute, man, does that feel good? That feels really good. So, if you guys have the chance to do it, I suggest you guys do it, man, because it's a great feeling. I mean, we're past our prime. Our time is already past. So, whatever knowledge we have, we need to give it out to the
Yeah.
future, which are our kids and the other kids that are below them.
That's what I
So,
try to do with my 5-year-old who's gonna be 6 next week.
yeah.
And dude, I get so frustrated.
Well, he's 5, dude. That's the bad part. Once he
know.
gets to the age of 7, 8, that's when you're like gonna be like, yeah, that's what I need to
Developing
start
more
doing.
motor skills and
Exactly.
hand-eye coordination. Like right now, all the kids, like they don't know how to like keep their hands in and like turn on the ball. They don't know that. They're just
Nah.
they're just all out here. They're like all
Yeah.
arms, put no body into it. And
Yeah.
Jackson's a tall kid. He's like a 90th percentile in height for his age, but he's very scrawny. He's like super skinny.
Well, that's
So
good. He's gonna be a lanky, strong kid.
yeah,
So that's good.
I hope so. I don't get it, man, because I'm 20 pounds shy of 300, and I'm
I wouldn't put
almost
that
6
out
feet
there.
tall. Like, why are my kids so skinny? And I'm so big.
Oh my god! Hey, Jasper just saying that he was a knuckleball pitcher back in the day. He was good until his brother behind the plate. He will put his brother behind the plate to catch games. Man, those were the days.
No,
Those
he
were the
was
days.
good until they put his brother behind the
Oh,
plate.
okay. I read it wrong. I read it wrong.
Yeah, I would have taken you deep too, Jasper.
Oh, that sounds like a challenge. We're reminiscing back in the days, man. Back in the days, there was a lot of things happening. We used to play tennis ball back in the backyards. That's where it started. For us, it started with a tennis ball and a bat that we got at a yard sale. We didn't have gloves or none of that stuff. And we played at the backyards. It was like at least, how many were we, Tony? Like 10 to 15 kids playing baseball. And every day, dude, every day we will play baseball. Every day.
Yeah,
it was
we'll
like
go to your house. We'll go to my house.
Yeah.
We'll go to Douglas's house.
Yeah.
Play on the streets.
Dude.
This is before all these kids got lazy and too much into like video games and phones.
Well, see, that's why. Look, so that's why we didn't get into it because of the Atlanta Braves, but the Atlanta Braves were one of the main reasons why we were watching playoff games back in the days.
Yeah.
The Braves were in the playoffs every year in the 90s. So we were like try to mimic these pitchers and these batters, David Justice, Greg Maddux, all these top players in the Braves. And then you had your Yankees, of course, that I didn't like the Yankees. So I would try to root for the Braves because the Dodgers weren't in there all the time. So it was the Yankees, Braves, and then you had, the Twins in there, the Blue Jays. So it's like you remember all these things growing up and you try to mimic it or like, let's go play baseball. Let's go play baseball. So we would do that and we would do it behind the yards. And it was fun, man. It was a lot of fun. Like, here goes another one. He couldn't catch my curveball. There you go. So that's crazy. A curveball is always good, man. You always think fastball, adjust to the curve. But yeah, dude, that's how we grew up. And like, that's why we started, baseball is something that you talk about pretty much every day. Even if you don't think about it, you still do it. You have baseball references, even like I know in meetings, I bring those things up. So
can of corn.
Can of corn I just learned, dude. Don't bring that up. I told you. I brought
oh yeah, that's
corn,
right.
Can of corn like 6-7 months ago? I didn't know about that term. And yeah, Vince Scully used to say it a lot. Like I just what I realized?
It's an old term.
It's an old term. You know what I realized, which is kind of crazy to me? You know how we talk about baseball and we say we used to play and all this stuff, but in my head, I never thought about looking at the announcer. And look at what we're doing now. We're podcasters, and that's one of the things that's like, wow, we kind of do listen to the broadcasters, and we're like, oh, we try to mimic them as well, man. So it's kind of crazy. The game brought us a lot of things. Not just the baseball.
Not Joe Buck.
Exactly. It's just, they brought all this stuff. Like he brought another thing, stickball under the street lights. That one's a good one too. I know Vladimir used to play stickball. That's why he's a great hitter. He used to play that broomstick and then just hit that little ball. It was smaller than the baseball, smaller than the tennis ball, I think, for Vladimir Guerrero, senior, not junior. I don't know about junior. Junior probably played stickball as well.
I doubt it.
Right?
He probably had a big baseball field in his backyard growing up.
Maybe, but he's still good. Oh, did you guys hear about the stat that's out there about Vladimir and junior and senior?
The same OBP, same amount of home runs,
same amount of games, and I think same age.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Like that's crazy. And same amount of at bats. Everything, like I think it's like 5 things. It's a crazy stat. It's probably like he was reborn or something, and he's doing it again. It's like it's crazy.
Like it's his son.
It's his son, yeah, and he probably went back in time. All right, man. I think we went way over the time. Do you guys have anything else to say before we log out?
Yeah, Tony, stop using that laptop and use your phone. The phone quality on the camera quality on your phone is so much better.
Yeah. And then the Uber driving is pretty good too. So
really?
I'll give you a 5-star on this one.
For sure. Thank you for your time, guys.
Yeah, for your time. So, nothing else, Sony? You don't want to say anything else?
Geez, I would just say if you lost out on
Tyler Malley?
What's his name?
Gonzalez?
No, he's with the Braves.
Strider.
Albies. Since Albies is out, and also Rendon. I don't know if you guys checked it up or not.
No, I didn't.
But I'm pretty sure he's out.
If he is,
anyways,
I came up on that trade big time.
Oh, you came up on it when it was still fucking when it first happened. You came up on it big time. He didn't even have to like lose his season. You came up big time regardless. But anyways, what I'm trying to get at, if you just lost these two
he's
back,
done.
Yeah,
Season-ending surgery to repair his wrist.
Yeah, he's done.
Yeah.
Entire season.
Well, if you need
Kyle
players, I would highly recommend. I'm not sure if Kyle Farmer is still out there, but if he is, go get him. I also like Orlando Arcia. I like him. He's currently covering for Albies at second. So
he's a hot bat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's got a hot bat. And I think those two guys are going to be pretty decent throughout the year, or at least serviceable. You know, where they probably get you 2 to 3 points a game. They're not really strikeout guys. They are contact guys, so that you're not going to get home runs or anything like that. But right now, I mean, you're just trying to stay afloat, trying to survive, you know. So until somebody else comes available, Kyle Farmer, Orlando Arcia, and you know what, man? Probably just a pickup in general, but Laureano, I feel is going to be good, and he more than likely is going to get traded. Him with Montas.
Montas?
You know? Yeah. They're going to get traded. So
cool, man.
I would start stashing some guys that possibly might get traded.
Sweet.
You know, that's what I would start looking.
Well,
or even like trading, like if trading to get like Montas, trading to get Castillo, right?
Yeah.
Or
Castillo and Malley.
Yeah, because they're gonna be traded to a contender, so they're definitely gonna get more run support.
That are just that are terrible right now, like the Tigers and the Reds and the Marlins. A lot of the guys that are on those teams that are not going to be like part of their core future are probably going to get traded.
Exactly. Yeah. They are.
So guys like Castillo, that I think is like 27 or 28 years old, he's like a really good trade candidate because he's going to be a free agent soon anyway. So the Reds aren't going to do anything within the next 5 years. So might as well trade off your top pieces to try to rebuild again.
And those are things you got to look for too, because they're going to get traded to contending teams. And you guys mentioned the Dodgers are one of them. So and they do need the pitching. So if it goes from
there's
a better
another
team,
pitcher actually that I wanted to kind of highlight, which I picked him up and he just had a clunker. But it's Caleb Killian. So Caleb Killian came over to the Cubs in the Yu Darvish trade when Darvish was traded to
to the Padres.
To San Diego.
Yeah.
So that was the top prospect at the time that the Cubs got in exchange for Darvish. So he did have a really bad start, which was kind of expected because he faced San Diego.
Don't just got dropped in our league.
Really?
Yeah, he just got dropped right now.
Well, you just want to keep an eye on this guy, though. You want to keep an eye on this guy.
Sorry, the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
So those two guys, Spencer Strider and Caleb Killian.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's it, man. We reached the end of the show. Tony joined us from the Uber camp. That's pretty cool. I think this is a good way of getting everybody on here, even if it's on on the phone or whatever. That's pretty cool. We'd like to thank him for getting on. That's pretty cool that you're doing that and you're taking time while you're driving. I'm pretty sure you're almost home because of that, right? So
I'm actually like 5 minutes away.
That's pretty cool. We kept you busy and you got home pretty quick, even though it took an hour.
Good thing I'm off tomorrow.
Yeah.
I say we do it.
Yeah, that's fine. We can get you on here. All right. Well, I'm gonna say at the end of the show. I'm Carlos Baseball. This is Willpower and Tony Snap. Real Talk Baseball. Signing out.
See you guys.